Blake Lively just subpoenaed for receipts. Is this a real fight for justice or a strategic PR move? And why is she focusing so much on the smear campaign instead of the SH allegations, which would probably be a more appropriate scenario? This is the exact same tactics that toxic people would use in real life scenarios. So I think it would be great to explore this a bit more. When someone knows the truth is damaging, they collect evidence to shift the focus. So it's just a way of changing your attention. She may have solid proof for SH allegations, or she knows she doesn't have enough to make a legal case. Perhaps in her mind, she had thought that they were SH allegations and that these can be proven. So maybe she's starting to double down on something else that might be easier to prove. There might be something, one or two texts or something that can discredit the other party before they can discredit her. So the irony is she has admitted to also poisoning the cast against Penn while working with him. So we know she's familiar with these tactics then, because she's actually admitted that I poisoned the cast against him. That's really strange. Could this be then a deflective strategy where she has actually isolated people and poison people against people, the way she can isolate one person to create control over them? Toxic people often accuse others of the exact things that they do or have done. Projection is a key trait in smear campaigns, and it's something to note that usually in real life cases, the smear campaign starts before the person even realizes that there is a smear campaign. So for instance, get stopped being invited to parties, or people won't talk to them in the same way. And they don't even realize that the toxic individual is saying things about them that aren't true. Smear campaigns aren't just personal. They're often about controlling the public perception, controlling the narrative so that no one will believe you when you do speak out. So a lot of it is done way in advance. And it could also be she's creating doubt in our minds. And self-doubt is a massive part of toxic relationships, where they use so many different techniques to create doubt in our own mind, like, am I wrong? Was it me? Am I the person that's got this wrong? And then that way she can start to feed the public with different stories. It happens in real life. Toxic people work so hard to destroy your credibility, so then they don't have to focus on defending their own actions or defending what it is that they did in the first place. It is part of the strategy and it's part of the cycle. So there's always love bombing. Then there's devaluation. So they will try and make it out that you're a bad person, you're not good enough. And then they will go into discard. And discard is when they discard you as if you're not important. And during that phase, they are trying to manipulate the whole narrative, the perception that other people have about you, so that they start to devalue and discard you as well. So why do toxic individuals need to smear others? I mean, really, truly, like, there really isn't any need for it, but why do they do it? The psychology behind it is it's a preemptive defense. Attack first, so no one questions them. The focus becomes on the other person having to defend themselves so that they don't need to defend themselves. The other thing is guilt projection. If they can make you the villain, they don't have to own up to their own mistakes, and then they have the ability to control others through guilt and shame. So the way people manipulate is through creating emotions in you so that you switch off your critical thinking, so that you're more easily manipulated because you're feeling sorry for somebody or you're feeling bad for them. So then you're not able to engage all of your brain. The other thing they do it for is control and isolation. If they can isolate you, they have control over you completely. During the discard phase, they actually want to destroy the other person. It's not just they want to destroy that person so that they are left with nothing. And that makes them feel even more power and control over somebody else's life. So if someone is smearing you, watch their patterns. Are they shifting blame, Start collecting evidence. This is why what Justin Baldoni has done in terms of the receipts is so important, because without the evidence, they will try and control the narrative. So hence why they want to poke holes in the evidence, because that is the biggest thing they've got. And the best response is to stay calm, gather your receipts, and let the truth come out in its time. The other thing I really want to talk about is that smear campaigns, when narcissists do the smear campaigns, it hurts so much. If you've ever had your entire reputation destroyed by someone who was supposed to love you or be working with you, and you've been so giving, and so tolerant, narcissists don't leave. They make you suffer. They want to destroy you on the way out. Smear campaigns, they're not gossip. It's like a psychological warfare. It's a lot deeper. What is a smear campaign? It's basically when the narcissist spread lies or twist reality, takes things out of context, and then also isolates the victim. They play the victim while painting you as the abuser, whilst abusing you at the same time as well. And it really, really hurts, because there's a loss of identity. You start to doubt your own truth. There's so much gaslighting, because you know that what they're doing is wrong, but then no one else can see it. So then that is the ultimate gaslight, where you start to doubt your own truth. Social isolation, like mutual friends pull away, leaving you alone. And when there's trauma, we need connection, we need understanding, we need empathy to be able to heal. It's vital. So what they're doing is they're taking away your ability to heal. Gaslighting and PTSD, it happens when you've had someone smear you, because when someone smears you, it's a threat. It's a threat that your body knows. It's like you feel attacked when someone is telling things about you that aren't true. So your nervous system kicks in, where you go into fight, flight, or shut down. So then your brain doesn't function, because now you have to deal with the pain of what they've done, but also the pain of betrayal, of how many people just don't believe you. It really hurts. So many of my clients have dealt with this, and it's so hard to really step into and really know your own value and who you are and what you're about, and that stand in the fact that you're trying to do the right thing. So why do narcissists do this? The biggest thing is the fear of exposure. They want to attack you before you can tell your side. And they want to keep the narrative dominant, their side of the narrative dominant. It's all about power and control. If I can attack you before you even know you're being attacked, I have power and control. And also, they need validation from other people. If people feel sorry for you, if people feel bad for you, you're getting supply, you're getting validation. The science of emotional trauma is that the brain actually sees betrayal as an actual physical pain. So social rejection triggers the same neural pathways as a physical injury. It hurts. And smear campaigns create PTSD-like symptoms. If something like this is happening to you, what you shouldn't do is try and defend yourself to this person or to the people to try and get them to believe you, because it very rarely works. But what you should do is stay silent and gather evidence, screenshot, messages, witnesses. And it appears that's what Justin Baldoni was doing. He didn't try and defend himself out publicly, and maybe he was holding back from getting out in the public what was really happening. But he stayed silent and gathered all the evidence. And the second thing is find a safe support system, real friends, online communities or therapy, and then take legal action if needed. And the last thing I would say is really build your self-worth, really work on finding who you are. A lot of the time we can get stuck into what the narcissist is doing or what the toxic individual is doing and trying to understand them and trying to uncover what they are doing. But actually the real person that you need to rediscover is you. Really understanding your own values, your self-worth. It's just incredible when you start taking the focus off of them, because truth be told, they're not really worth your time, and actually really focusing on you. A smear campaign does feel like the end of the world. It's awful, but it's also a new beginning as well. You don't have to prove your truth to anyone. You just need to live by your truth. Who you are. Or who you know yourself to be. If you've ever been targeted from a smear campaign, let me know how you've handled it. And also tell me, what do you think is really going on? It's really interesting. If you have been through something like this, it is really, really tough. And I would say that you do need therapy, and particularly trauma therapy, to recover. If that is you, then do look in the resources section. And also do subscribe, like, and share this with anyone. Sending you love. Till next time.